Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Red, White, and Bills. This is Sean, your host, and we are going to be talking about the Sunday Night Football beatdown with the Baltimore Ravens and the Buffalo Bills. Before we get into the keys to the victory and the key players, this is just an awesome matchup because you got two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL with two of the best teams in the NFL in the same draft class clashing again for this will be the fourth total time together. And again, these fan bases are just as passionate as it gets. The two blue collar areas that just love football, love their football team, and it's going to be one for the ages, a classic, as I put in the title. The last three meetings, again with Josh Allen and Lamar, it's been 2-1 for the Buffalo Bills. Two of the games were within one score, and then the playoff game, Lamar did get hurt in the end of the third quarter. It was 17-3. So none of them have been really high scoring, and they've all been within a score of each other. So besides that playoff game, so this will be I expect it to be a really good game. But let's get into it. So the first key to victory is winning in the trenches. Again, it always starts with the trenches, but I got some intel from a friend who's a Ravens fan, and he seems to believe that their left guard, Andrew Voorhees, will be out for this game. Again, it's not confirmed or not for sure yet, but this is just what he's been hearing from his neck of the woods. And what he's saying is their right tackle, Makari, is going to move over to left guard, and they're going to bring in their rookie to play right tackle. So winning in the trenches is definitely, again, both sides of the football. Our offensive line has been a top unit in this league, top 3 unit in this league for the first 3 weeks. Number 1 in pass block win rate, number 1 or 2 in run block win rate. And again, they've just been dominating on all cylinders. And with the Ravens, they also had Tyler Linderbaum on the injury report as well. So, their interior is going to be probably playing. Linderbaum is going to be playing, but he might be injured. And how 100%, if at all, will he be in this game? Then you got to stop Derrick Henry. I mean, Derrick Henry is still one of the best running backs in the league, 2,000-yard rusher. It's a bruiser back who is a north to south runner. So if you can clog the middle and you could be in your gaps and play sound gap defense, which we usually do, and you have to force him to bounce outside, it could be really really good for us. Now Henry, in his history with us, he has 7 total touchdowns, and one of the games he had 4, and that was where the year they had won the 1 seed, and we lost in Tennessee when Josh fumbled at the 1-yard line on 4th down when we tried to take the lead. Instead, it was 34-31. We could have tied the game. We went to overtime, but we tried to go for the win. He had 100-something rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. But there was another game where he had 1 yard to carry. It was like 12 carries for 20 yards. And another game where he had 3 yards to carry. Another one he had 3.9 yards to carry. So we did a good job against him for the most part. So we got to keep up with that for this game as well. And then just like Josh, him and Josh are the most dynamic football players in the league. And obviously Mahomes is the best quarterback. But when teams talk about a quarterback they want, they always talk about guys like Lamar and Josh. They don't describe Pat Mahomes. They describe Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson when they talk about what kind of quarterback they want for their team as far as skill set goes. So keeping him in the pocket is a major, major key because he can run out like him and Josh together. Like Lamar gets all the rushing yards, Allen gets all the rushing touchdowns. So like if you put them together as a totality, they'd be probably the best quarterback in the history of the game, for forever. but yeah, so if you can keep him in the pocket and force him to make the throws and his legs aren't part of the game, that's obviously a huge part in how you can win a football game against them. They will run the option too. So you got to, again, keep your gaps and stay in your lane and watch what Lamar's doing. And then lastly, hit the middle of the field, intermediate and somewhat deep. Their secondary, again, it's only been 3 weeks, and they haven't been very good. Again, they still got Kyle Hamilton, who's a superstar, but again, it's only 3 weeks, so their secondary can turn it around. But from the small sample size, they have a really bad pass defense, and we can use our playmakers in the middle of the field against our linebackers. I know Roquan Smith is one of the best in the game, but I like our Khalil Shakir, Curtis Samuel, Dalton Kincaid in the middle of the field working on those linebackers. Speaking of linebackers, when we go to key players, our linebackers, Dorian Williams and Balen Spector, are going to be starting again, and they have an important job because they need to keep those gaps sound, be able to tackle Derrick Henry, and one of them is probably going to have to spy Lamar Jackson at some point because I'm sure we'll throw that in there a little bit. But they have a really important job in this game. And then, like I said, the middle of the field. So Dalton Kincaid, again, I feel like he hasn't been very active this year so far, but I've used him a couple times as a key player because he's that type of dude. I know Shakir's been that dude, but he's got the height, the speed, the catch radius, everything. So this is one of those games where you want to highlight a player like that. And then Connor McGovern, singling him out this week because they got Justin Madubuike over there, and uh, their nose tackle Pierce. He was on the injury report. I haven't heard that he's not playing, but he's gonna have a tough assignment. Madubuike had 14 sacks last year, so McGovern's gonna have to really step up. He's been, as far as a weak link. I mean, they're not 100% perfect, but the weak link is Connor McGovern. But again, this line is still a top unit in this league. But being a weak link on a top unit isn't necessarily a bad thing. And then to round it off, yeah, Ed Oliver. Like I mentioned, Andrew Voorhees is probably going to be out, and if he does play, he's got an ankle injury, so he's going to be your left guard. Linderbaum has a knee injury that he set out of practice for. He's probably going to play. And then again, Falele, the right guard, he is absolutely their weak link of their offensive line, and you want to take advantage of that interior. And if you can get that interior push, and your ends can contain, that's going to have to force Lamar to stay in the pocket, and should be a good day for our defense. Again, this is a great team we're playing against. I don't care about record. I know if we win, everyone's going to say, "Oh, they're 1-3. You haven't faced a real team yet." But at the end of the day, we know this is one of the best teams in the NFL. Definitely one of the best teams in the AFC. So, and this is their house, so they got to defend their dirt. So it's going to be a very difficult game. I got this game being again within 3 points. Whatever the score is going to be. I'm assuming in the low 20s for a score, but man, it's going to be this is what it's all about, man. Two of the best quarterbacks in the league going at it on a big stage, and this as early as it is, this got implications on it because if the Ravens win, they're 2-2, we're 3-1. They're only one game difference from us, and if there's a playoff seeding 2 or 3 or 4, it's going to come down to being important, and it's a conference game. So massive implications, fantastic game. I'm super excited for it. I mean, even if you're not a Ravens or Bills fan, this is probably going to be the best game of the week. So let me know what your thoughts in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, like the video. Ravens fans, I hope you can see this. I want to hear your thoughts as well. And go Bills, and good luck to everybody out there.